and we are here talking about why relationships fail. Why do you think what relationships fail? So tell me about it. If you're here, whether you're seeing me in Facebook, in Instagram, in YouTube, we're talking about today about why relationships fail. So thank you for joining. Let me know where you're signing in from and what is it that we are what are some of the things that you think that relationships fails? What are the top reasons why we start going out with somebody and then we go down the progression line of being with that person, and then what happens is we go south? So why do you think? Why do you think? I've been giving you 4 reasons. Last week we talked about expectations. Expectations are a big reason why relationships fail. Unmet expectations. And maybe you're in a relationship. Tell me, what are you struggling with? I want to know. I want to hear. So share with me and let me know what's happening. What are you experiencing when you are with somebody? What are some of the things that really are a turn off? What are some of the things that really get the best out of you? What are the things that you think that bring an end to the relationship? So I want to hear about it. And today I'm going to be sharing with you one of the biggest reasons ever why relationships fail. And as I work with people from all walks of life and in relationship status as well, is, what I find is that relationships fail, which is a topic of today, because of unresolved issues. Is that right? Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody that you said, you know what? They were not emotionally available. They were not. And what they did is that they went into a shell, or we could not really get to agree on something, because when we did, we were always fighting and we were always constantly struggling with that, because that other person had some issues from the past, some unresolved issues. Is that right? So today I'm going to give you 3 quick tips on what is it that you can do to resolve and to be when you are in a relationship that faces unresolved issues. Okay. And first of all, what you want to do is you want to know who is the one with unresolved issues, or is it both of you that are with unresolved issues? And let's start with you. Point your finger first at you. If you want to have a successful relationship, what you want to do is you want to put on the mask first. You want to be the first person that says, you know what? I need help. I need to be well for me to be able to work with others, right? I need to be well. So that is what is happening. And what I'm inviting you to do is to take an inventory. Okay, take an inventory of what's happening in your life. What are some of the things that would trigger for you to have a relationship that might be struggling? Maybe you encountered something in the past, some traumatic issues from the past. Maybe you experienced abuse, whatever kind of abuse, right? And that will be something that might be holding you back. So you want to be mindful of what is that you are not allowing to see, and holding up the mirror for you and saying, I need to be honest with myself. That's one of the key factors that you want, is 100% honesty. What is it that is happening with me that I am not allowing for myself to really see what's going on? So tell me and share with me, what are some of the things that you think that maybe you are struggling with that is not allowing you to move forward? And what have you done about it? Because you want to do certain things about it. My version of doing of personal development is you being so aware of your shortcomings and doing something positive about it. That's my version. What do you think? So I'm inviting you to type in the comments. What is it that you do when you find yourself that you are facing things maybe from your childhood? Maybe you fell and experienced abandonment, right? Maybe you experienced something that had to do with your dad leaving. I know that was my story. My dad left when I was about 3 years old, and I couldn't really have a healthy relationship with men because I had stories, right, about men leaving. What's your story? What are some of the things that you are facing yourself that you don't know how to to deal with, or you don't know how to cope with, you don't know what to do with it. Well, that's so key because that is going to show up in your relationships, or maybe somebody else already made them showed up for you. And so tell me and share with me. I want to hear, what is it that you're doing? What are some of the things that are holding you back? Because I'm going to give you 3 tips on what you can do so that you can improve your relationship when you are in a relationship with somebody that might have unresolved issues, or you yourself might have unresolved issues. Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, so we were saying, when you want to be the first one to say, you know what, hashtag yes me. I am the one. I am somebody that has had difficulties in the past because of something that happened in my upbringing. And it can be, like we said, maybe your dad walked out on you, maybe your mom walked out on you, right? Maybe you experienced living with other people and you didn't know how to own yourself, how to own your personality and see what you were being. Maybe you didn't experience having somebody that loved you or that pampered you or that told you things that you needed to hear, right? There's a book that I always recommend that is called 5 Languages of Love, that it shows what is it that is your love language. So if you know your love language, how about you post it here in the comments? Let me know, what is your love language and how are you getting met? How is that getting met, right? Because what happens is, when we are in a relationship with somebody that is not emotionally available at times, is because there are underlying issues. I mean, if we don't resolve it, most likely the relationship is going to continue to go south. And we don't want that, right? We want to encourage you to have the 10-level relationship. And that is possible. And how is that possible? When you really take the time to evaluate and look inside your life and say, what are some of the things that are not working in this relationship because of the way that I am showing up? Am I showing up in fear? Am I showing up as somebody that is probably super jealous? Have you ever been with somebody that is super jealous and it just drives your life crazy, right? That becomes controlling, somebody that becomes like, it doesn't allow, they don't allow you to do so many things, and they're eroding even your essence. They fell in love with you because of your essence, and now they are not letting you be you. Have you ever felt like that? I know I've been in a situation like that. So what I'm inviting you to see is, man, I get to see what's really going underneath the surface. Let's pop up the hood and let's look at what's working and what's not working. And how am I showing up in life that is not allowing me to enjoy that one relationship that I want? So what do you think? Let me know. Let me know. So so this is about when it comes about me, right? You want to be honest with yourself. You want to be able to see, you know what, I realize, and I want to own the fact that, yes, this is my experience and it doesn't feel good and I don't like it. However, this is me right now. And how do I make it so that this can be different? Okay. So that's what I'm inviting you to see. What is it that is going on in your life that you can change? Okay. So that's number 1. It's like put in the mirror and having you own your own shortcomings. Okay. Number 2 is, let's talk about now the three things that you want to do when you're in a relationship where somebody is not totally emotionally available, or where somebody has unresolved issues. Number 1 is you want to be that support to them. Okay. But not only the support, that by support doesn't mean a doormat, that you put up with everything they do with their tantrums and with whatever they throw at you, and that you tolerate whatever they are working, that they have not resolved it. That doesn't mean that. What it means is that you are in an awareness, right? That shows that you really love this person and that this person has different issues, and that you want to support them, And by you owning that, then what happens is that you want to really be able to make a difference in their lives, in how they're showing up, and loving them and really pamper them and be with them in a way that they will make that moment that they will know that you are loved. Because what happens when we're in a relationship and we're facing these difficulties, then what happens is that we don't feel that we're being heard, or that somebody gets us, right? And what you want to do when you're in that relationship with somebody that has unresolved issues, then what you want to do is you want to be present to them and show that, and communicate sometimes with words, sometimes without words, and say, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. I'm here to walk this bridge with you. Let's build it. And that what you don't want to do, I'll tell you what you don't want to do. You don't want to be accusatory. You don't want to be antagonistic. You don't want to be saying, well, you're wrong and you need to change because you have all these issues that you need to resolve. That's absolutely not what we want to see happening. What we want to see happening is we want to say, you know what? How can I support you today? How can I bring a smile to your face? How can I make your days go lighter? How can I help you carry a load? What is it that I can do for you? How can I let you know that how much I appreciate you? What would be a way that it would resonate with you, right? Because sometimes what we think that people want and what people really need is very different. And not because I learned this from Stephen Covey in his book, seven habits of highly effective people. He says that, no, I'm telling you the wrong book. Okay, so many books. No, this is Dale Carnegie, and he's talking about how to make friends and influence on people. And he says, you know what? I love strawberries. I love strawberries with cream. Love them, love them, love them. But when I go fishing, I don't throw strawberries with cream to the fish. Why? Because that's not bait for the fish. That's not what the fish like. So if you're going to be working with somebody, if you're going to be in this case with somebody that you love, you don't want to be giving them what you think they want. You want to hear what is it that they want, what is it that they need, so that you can be effective at what is going on underneath the surface and what are the things that they are actually needing. Okay, so that's one of the first things that you want to do is show your support in a way that they don't feel like they're actually being patronized, or that they actually feel that you're present with them and that you mean that. And many times hearts speak when words cannot. And that's what you want to do. You want to see that happening for them and being able to be there present, especially if you're a man. Okay, if you're a man, what you want from that woman is, we men would sometimes we feel unseen, right? You want to make sure that you're so present with that girl, because she will totally feel unappreciated if you're not present with that. Okay. So what is it that you are experiencing in a moment right now that has you show up in a way that will create that level 10 relationship that you want? Okay. So that's point number one. Point number two, what you want to do when you're with somebody that is not necessarily sometimes emotionally available or has unresolved issues, you want to have the wisdom, and you can do this with somebody. I'm giving you the what to do, but there's a lot of how you can do this. So you don't say this doesn't work. No, it works, but you want to have the recipe on how to do it, right? So I can show you that, but the purpose of this here today is, what is it that can be done? What is it that I can do is I can talk to my partner and find out ways of, hey, how do we take this relationship to the next level? How can I support you? What needs to happen? What needs to happen so that you will feel more comfortable, so that you will feel like trustworthy? And that doesn't mean tell me what I need to do, and I'm going to jump through every hoop that you say that I will have to, so that you can feel happy. That's not what we're talking about. This is like, what are we building as a relationship, you and I, and how can I facilitate it for you so that we can get there, so that we can enjoy the kind of relationship that we want? Okay, that's what we want to do. And number three, what you want to do is you want to also find help. You want to find help. Because if you really want to have that relationship to thrive, right, and not be a statistic of why relationships fail, then I'm inviting you to get the help of somebody. There's so many people, there's so many resources available. I certainly can become one. We can certainly talk, and I've been able to work with couples and marriages and all sorts of people into getting the relationship where they want it, and even creating a new one that is yummier and juicier, and it actually serves and meets their needs. So what is it that you want to create? Well, get help from a professional. Get help from somebody. You and I we're not born knowing how to do math, how to ride a bike, how to drive a car, how to lead a successful business. We didn't know how. We learn all these things. What makes us think that we're experts at relationships simply because we get together with somebody? We're not. And you might ruin something that is meant to be beautiful simply because you are not reaching out, because you're not investing in you, because you are not investing in your own growth. If you're not growing, like everything in nature, you're going what? South. You're dying. There's only two ways to go. You cannot get stagnant. Where there's stagnant, there's death. The water that is not flowing, it becomes death, right? There's all sorts of, there's another type of life, not the life that you want. It's life that is toxic, right? So if you're not growing, you're dying. So what you want to do is invest in yourself. Get the help. Get somebody to help you and say, you know what? I need help. I want to be able to grow, to get into that relationship. And you know what? I once was talking to a man that loved his wife, but they were having issues sexually and they didn't know how to really go about it. And she said, well, let's go to therapy. Let's go find somebody that will help us. And he said, no. He said, no, you're the one with the problem. So you go fix it. What are they going to teach me? Now, I'm not going to tell you more, but I will tell you those were not coaching clients of mine, somebody that I just happened to listen to. And they ended up in divorce. Why? Because he wasn't willing. She said, let's go, let's do this, let's get the help together. And he said, no. So that's a great recipe for disaster. When you say no, when you close off and you say, I already know everything there is to know, and I can never learn anything more, then that is exactly, you are headed for one way, and that way is south. Okay. So I'm giving you some of the tips, and I'm also telling you I am available. You can always book a session with me. There's people that have changed their relationship and taking it to an entirely different level, and they're loving themselves. They've stopped the fighting. They stopped the bickering. They stopped the competition. They stopped the unwanted resentment. And you know what? They are in an entirely different place where they're enjoying themselves, where they're enjoying their life, where they're making plans, where they're supporting each other, where their needs are met, where they're creating agreements, and where a lot of juicy things are happening. So they all started with a phone call, with a booking a session with me. If you want to do that for your relationship, do it. The link is going to be here, and let's do that. And next week, I'm going to come back and give you other juicier tips. In the meantime, this is Saraya Tana, your relationship coach, and I look forward to seeing you next week. So come back and we'll do this again. Ciao, ciao.